Previously on Twin Portals.
In the months following Lark's death, Ilka studied arcane rituals which brought her to a mysterious necromancer. Through the necromancer's magic, both Ilka and Scoot were sent into the afterlife to find Lark's spirit. There, they encountered their far-traveling friend Zay. Together again, the remaining members of Swoj made their way through the mountainous deep wilds where they encountered mystical beings and dark rituals. Under a blood moon at the Pool of Eternal Spring, our heroes battled the minions of the beast Lord Malar. They were able to recover the soul of Lark and rescue their corrupted unicorn friend Lyrian. After the chaotic brawl, Swoj was pulled back through time and space to the Short Rest Tavern. As they recovered their senses, they discovered that Lark was missing once again. However, his voice cheered them on, his soul now housed safely in his prized red hat.
So, where we left off in the last session, the three of you and Lark as a hat all landed incredibly gracefully on the old cobblestone floors of a chamber below the Short Rest Tavern. Zay and Lark, this area isn't familiar to you. It's similar to the cellar of the Short Rest, but a bit darker, a bit more flickery. It looks like a kind of old abandoned laboratory that has been recently dug out. There are some old work tables and tools and kind of crumbling old scrolls, as well as a large, maybe like 3 foot wide, kind of glowing bowl, kind of sort of at the center of the room on this pedestal, near where the rest of you just jumped out of the portal. So, Lark, you can see your surroundings through a pair of golden buttons on the front of the hat. I don't know, is carrying the hat? Or who's carrying the hat?
Yeah, I'm holding it like a taco platter.
All right, okay.
So it's upside down?
We're in a weird upside down wizard room.
Can I hear him?
Yes.
Lark, you're here. I flipped the hat upside down.
Right.
So now it's
right
right
side
side up.
now.
I'm like rotating it all over, trying to find these buttons and trying to make sense of this thing I'm holding.
Whoa, where are we?
Is it just the four of us down here?
Yes. Yep.
We're back. We're home.
This doesn't look like home to me. Where are...
Well, it's our
This is
home.
our new home.
We have to go upstairs to get to the old home. This is new home down here.
This is where we live now?
No, we're down in the basement.
Yeah. But
We're
no.
digging around trying to find a way to bring Lark back.
There's
Is it-
extra rooms in the short rest?
Is it,
This
Matthias,
place just keeps getting better and better.
is it stairs or a ladder?
It's a spiral staircase.
Spiral staircase. We're gonna go up this awful spiral staircase, which I was against the whole time. I wanted angled, normal style. But when you go up there, we're gonna be back. You can see all the familiar stuff. Taga should still be up there. Leaf is up there.
Yay.
Wait, we're back in Faerun? I thought you guys had crossed into the astral plane with me.
No, we came back to get you. Because you were stuck there.
We take a Zuber over. We got a Zuber back. Here we are.
I've been trying to get out of that place for years.
Years?
Um.
Oh no, time runs funny. Relativity.
This makes my brain hurt.
I just saw Interstellar.
Matthias, add that to the list.
Yep.
So if we go upstairs, things might seem a little more familiar.
Let's go
Actually,
upstairs.
as you're all standing there, this pool in the center of the room kind of flashes with light, and you hear a voice emanating from it, a soft, sort of whispering voice that says, "You returned. You were successful."
Is that unicorn again?
Zay runs to the pool and tries to look inside.
And you see a hooded figure. It looks like something out of every Ringwraith fan art ever. It's like this big old dark hood covering a face, and it's kind of like staring at you from the surface of this pool. It seems to be a kind of a scrying pool.
Does it seem menacing?
Not necessarily. I mean, as much as
Okay.
any hooded
Right?
visage seems kind of menacing, But it seems to have some sort of a link to where you guys are, and it can tell that you're there. It's
I
addressed-
bring the hat over and point its eyeball buttons down into the pool so Lark can see what's going on.
Whoa, thanks, Ilka. Creepy.
Is it still upside down?
No, we flipped him right side up now.
Okay.
And
Do either of you know this figure?
well, Scoot and Ilka,
is-
you know it as the necromancer.
necromancer?
That was helping you. Yep.
Oh.
So this necromancer was offering to like without anything in return, offering to bring Lark back to the living. But what it needed was a soul, a diamond the size of a fist, and the remains of the deceased, or at least a portion of the remains of the deceased. It seems to still be watching you all, and as you all crowd around the pool, it addresses you and it says, it can't hear what you're saying, Lark. So like your telepathic like excitement is just totally lost on it.
Right.
But to the other three, it says, you returned with the soul of Lark Wavesilver. Now you must bring it to me along with his remains and a diamond. Can you do this?
I
We
feel
can't-
like finding a rock is the easy part. We should likely be able to do that pretty quickly.
But he was
Very well.
disintegrated. How will we bring his remains?
We have his ashes upstairs.
That's the best news ever.
Who
Where
made this like really touching box to remember him?
Aw, Scoot.
shaped like a dolphin.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. It's got silver in there because I couldn't afford gold, but the silver's nice. It pops. It's more appropriate for a dolphin, anyways.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
where's the necromancer located?
The necromancer says, to reach me, you must use a teleportation circle. I believe you know of one available in the Gralhund villa.
I grumble under my breath.
And the necromancer chuckles at that, and says, you must go to the circle and speak the words Tuatha Irinchi.
I would write that down, but I don't have arms.
Tuatha Irinchi.
Tuatha Irinchi.
Yes.
Does anything happen when we all start muttering it accidentally? Probably not because we're not in the circle, but
No, you're good.
Okay, does it have to be that circle? You said one like that one. That's the closest one, presumably.
Or it's at least the only one we know about.
The necromancer says, this circle is connected to my lair.
ah,
Oh, Say taps the side of her nose.
The necromancer follows and says, I offer this service without clause or contract. I only ask that you keep our meeting a secret. You must tell no one.
Okay, so we need to go about acquiring a diamond?
the size of a fist, which I'm
Big
going to
one.
say is Zay's fist,
Not Scoot's fist.
not Scoot's fist.
I wonder if Zelatharn has something like that in his treasures.
He's got so much treasure. Does the necromancer have a name? How do we address this being?
Do you say that out loud in front of it?
Sure. Necromancer, how should we address you? By name or title?
It replies, I apologize, but I cannot tell you that. I must keep my name a secret. You may refer to me as Necromancer for now. That will do.
Rock solid.
And it's very clear too. You know, you get a lot of information out of that.
Yeah.
I would like to move away from the scrying pool if we feel like we have enough information and talk about this further. Maybe move upstairs.
And as you're talking, on the far side of the room by the stairs, Leaf has appeared and seems to be like very animatedly excited to see you all, and is sort of bowing and like gesturing you welcome and sort of like flitting up and down the stairs, like getting things ready.
I wave at Leaf and I give him the shush, and then like I'm on the phone sort of a thing. I'll be there in just a second. And then I try to say, all right, I say to the scrying pool, all right, friend, thanks for checking in. We will see you soon. And I avoid shouting the word necromancer, which is the first thing that's in my brain.
Yep.
And the voice doesn't reply. It just nods.
It taps its nose.
All right. Over and out.
Zay begins to ascend the stairs.
Yeah,
The
head up
voice
towards
says, take
Leaf.
care, little Gralhund, as the rest of you leave.
Oh.
I grumble under my breath again
Oh.
and nod.
Is it her grandpa?
I thought her grandpa's soul was in the concertina.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, we could bring your grandpa back too. 2 diamonds. No.
I
Anybody
think
else? Anybody
he's
else?
he's served his time on this planet. He's happy where he is.
All right, all right. So once we're out of earshot of the scrying pool, um, Zay asks, "What do you know of this necromancer? Why is he being so kind to us?"
I have no idea, but I'm willing to take it. I'm just running with this one. I was silly and tried to take out a mind flayer and a beholder, and it cost my friend his life, and I'm trying to right that.
I think he recognizes the merits of our cause and that something is deeply wrong in Waterdeep, and that hopefully he can help us fix that.
Awesome. Okay.
He seemed a little sus to me.
Right? But obviously I trust you guys.
Necromancer is sus.
I just learned about sus. Like I would have got it in context, but yeah, just recently read about sus. That's how old I am.
We're all
But
pretty on top of it,
I had to read about it.
I learned about it from a
this is-
10-year-old.
So you all travel up the spiral staircase about 20 feet before you find yourselves in the cellar of the short rest that you're familiar with. And it looks like this place was recently excavated. There was a small alcove where you found Ilka's song sword the first time you came here.
Yeah.
And that alcove was excavated out into this spiral staircase that seems to descend further and further downwards. And so, so there's this further space below the short rest. But as you get up to the cellar, you can start to smell the familiar smell of home cooked meals, and the drinks of the tavern up above. It sounds like it's a bustling day upstairs. What do you do?
If does Zay see Taga? She's gonna keep an eye out for Taga.
Not in the cellar. No, you don't see Taga.
No, oh sorry, I'm gonna continue up. Because
Okay.
the cellar comes up behind the bar, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you pop up, and surely enough, Taga is there, busy running the bar and getting some meals ready for some patrons that are outside.
Okay, I'm gonna run to her and give her a huge hug.
She says, "Say," and gives you a huge hug as well, like a really all-encompassing giant hug.
Oh, Mom.
She picks you up off your feet and then sets you back down again and kind of like checks over you to make sure that you're all in one piece, and then sees everyone else coming up too, and is, really obviously just grateful to see the three of you all together. Not really cognizant of the fact that Lark is there too.
Well, because Lark's in the hat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of tug Scoot aside and ask him quietly how his mom does with supernaturally stuff. Basically, is it going to alarm her if
No.
Lark says hi?
Nope, not at all.
Can Lark say hi?
I was going to ask that too. Does his
Hi,
telepathy...
Taga. I telepathy. Hi, Taga. I'm in the hat.
And she jolts and kind of like jumps a little off her feet, and then looks around, like trying to figure out where this voice is coming from.
I hold up the hat.
I'm
and
in the
beam.
hat.
Oh, and then she sees Ilka gesturing forward at the hat, and she sort of skeptically steps forward, kind of looks at it sideways, and says, "Lark?
You're looking great, Taga.
No, Lark?
Yeah.
How can this? How is this possible? What?" She gets this big grin on her
Scoot
face.
and Ilka and Zay saved me.
Kind
Put
of.
you in a hat?
Yeah.
Scoot, what did you do? She says.
You know how much he loves this hat.
I didn't. I guess enough to bring him back from the pale. What? That's incredible. Can I do anything for you? Can you eat as a hat?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well,
But thanks.
I Leaf let me know that you all were downstairs, so you've been gone for almost a day. I was really worried about you, but since you're all back, lunch is ready.
Hooray.
She
Oh, man.
seems very set in her ways.
Thanks,
Can
Mom.
he
is
smell
her
the
way of-
lunch? He can see and hear. Does he have a sense of smell?
Does not have a sense of smell.
So, shall we gather around her prepared lunch and decide next steps? I feel like we could check in with Zelatharn. Is it Zelatharn or Zelatharn?
Zelafarn with an F.
With an F. Check in with Zelatharn and or maybe other paths of finding a very large diamond.
Is Xylophone going to
Sure.
give up a very large diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he's part of Swoge.
okay.
Yeah. Wow. We haven't. I suppose we haven't collected any dues from him in a while.
Have you still been meeting him every 10-day?
I think
Well,
we've
I've
missed
been
a couple 10-day.
he
Yeah, the
might
last
he
couple
might
months.
not then.
I mean, we did give him that shirt for no charge.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was a lot of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if he has one, we could see what he wants for it, and then
That's
or find
probably fair.
other paths. It just seems Dragon would have a hoard, and he found some stuff when that ship sank. So anyway, so as we sit around eating, presumably, what other ideas do you have for acquiring a diamond?
I'm thinking.
That's it. That's all we got. Head to the dragon. Shit.
I'll keep thinking while we're walking towards the dragon.
Taga's practically dancing. She's, just so elated to have everyone back at home again.
That pause was so long that I was like, did I get disconnected?
Yeah, and we shot off a whole bunch of great ideas.
Yeah.
The only other thing I could think of is our gumshoe friend would probably have some leads.
What's a gumshoe?
Vincent
Oh,
Trench.
yeah.
Vincent Trench.
Gumshoe.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he actually a gumshoe? I might have just made that up.
What about
He
the
was a
wave
private
silvers?
eye.
Private eye.
Wave silvers are on hard financial time. Well, at least they were when I left a couple years ago. I don't know how things are now, but
They were.
probably aren't going to be a great resource for financial help.
I
Hey,
suppose.
so Lark, time has passed a little differently. It's only been 2 months here.
Oh,
Yeah,
by
what
the
have you
by.
been up to? What's life been like for
Uh,
you there, Lark?
it's been a little. You know what? It's been a little crazy, but I did grow an epic mustache. You guys probably noticed it when you saw me there in the deep wilds.
We did. It was wildly impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
It reminded me of Rowan Crooks.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Kind of a Rowan Crooks pencil mustache. I feel like I pretty much nailed it.
Yeah,
we-
I mean, it looked like the one I saw on him.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of briefly touched on it in the midst of battle that we met Rowan Crooks. Have we?
I know, I can't believe that. So you had the Jolly Gents and everything?
Yeah, I got one of their
Yeah.
costumes.
Joan.
Oh my gosh, little Joan and Friar Truck
Mhm.
and Antediluvian Jake and Laughing Mary and Toe Jam Sam and everybody.
Every last one.
Hope you're writing these
Oh,
down,
man.
DM.
Oh, it's a gift. It's all a gift.
We have to go back. We have to go back.
Gotta go
I
get
mean,
them.
next time we see Lyrian, we could ask. Well, he was going into the deep wild though, so that's some scary stuff.
So the wild, the Feywild, and the deep wild.
There's lots of wilds.
There's lots of wilds. Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah.
All I know is
So,
like top of the water and then underneath the water. That's all I really know.
should
The
we
water wilds.
enlist Terry to bring us to the docks?
Yeah, let's
for
head down to the docks and look for Zelipharn.
And as you're saying that, the front doors, like the big wide double doors at the entrance to Troll School or to the short rest, burst open, and Terry comes trotting in, full on horse still, with a sort of like if you think of like a pack donkey, like all these different like saddlebags and containers kind of like strewn on his sides,
Uh-huh.
as sort of like a solo act, like not with anyone else, running in with supplies for Taga, and he kind of like doesn't see you at first and just like cheerily walks through and gets a couple waves from some of the patrons. Like he's well known at this point. He's like one of the mainstays of the short rest, and he kind of
Oh.
skids to a halt as he gets about halfway through the chamber, and then does like a slow turn around towards the three of you, and then just loses his mind when he sees the three of you there, and says, "Oh my God, the guys are all back together." Well, almost, but hey, everybody!
So-
Wow!
Because he can probably sense Lark in the hat. Because
No, he can't. But he's just happy that Zay is
Oh.
there.
Okay, so is there room for me to leap on his back?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give him like a full body hug from behind
Oh,
while
cute.
I'm on his back. Yeah.
And he whinnies and shakes his head all horsey like, and he says, "Hey, it's wonderful to see you again. Welcome back."
Oh, I've missed you, Terry. I
Yeah,
can't believe you're still a horse.
I kind of like it. I'm kind of getting a bit of reputation, you might say.
Excellent.
They call me Terry the Talking Horse now. I'd feel ashamed if I let down my fans. And then he's like, "Wait a minute, do I hear laughing in my head? What's going on?"
Terry, it's me. I'm in the hat.
What? Looks around and he's, "Wait a minute. Oh, that hat, of course. What? Wait a minute.
Terry, Lark is a hat.
They saved me.
Oh my, they okay by putting you in a hat. I mean, I'm far be it from me to complain. That's wonderful. Welcome back, Lark."
Thanks.
And
I
he
can't.
gets
I'm
kind of
so
emotional.
excited.
He just says, "Me
Yeah.
too. Oh my God." So you guys are telling me that the whole gang is back together? Really?
Yeah,
Where did you find Lark? What you have to catch me up sometime.
we catch him up.
Oh, okay. And about half an hour later or more, it's up to you.
Can
Depending
we
on how
catch him
verbose
up?
you want to be.
Can we
Oh,
catch
as
him
you
up on the
go.
way to the docks ward? Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you just take off, finish your meal, and get going as you
I
talk.
I think so. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terry, do you want to come
It's
with
just
us?
Says,
oh
of
yeah.
course, I just finished my errands for the day, so whatever you need, let's go. And he kind of like hitches himself to the wagon outside, and it's a nice new wagon. Business seems to be going well at the short rest.
Yeah. I mean, now we just need to find Zelopharn and we'll have all of Swoj back together.
And you
I'm
make your way down towards the docks ward. You notice as you go that it's springtime in Waterdeep. It's the 20th of Chess, which is sort of like the early part of spring. Um, it just rained recently, and so all the snow has been washed away, but there's still kind of some dirt and mud in the post-winter detritus all around the road. But people are out and about enjoying the warmer weather. Uh, you notice that as you get down into the docks ward, there's an even higher police presence than usual. Like the city watch are on most corners, and they're all kind of ignoring you. It seems like they're kind of letting you go about your way.
This is weird.
Uh,
Normally this happens when we've been up to something, but we were in we were on different planes, so I don't understand why.
yeah,
Are
it
we
seems like there's
still? Are we still supposed to be like under lock and key? Like, how have you managed? How have you managed the secret about us getting getting permission to go on our way from Lateral Silverhands?
Well, you did die, and people tend to offer some sympathy and allowances
Okay.
when you've lost someone. So we held a big elaborate funeral, and they kind of waived some of the charges.
Okay, so they're not gonna these police aren't gonna be angry these watch aren't gonna be angry to see us out on the street.
No, but gosh, it's gonna be interesting if we get you back in your body after that big funeral we held.
I was gonna say not until we Huck Sawyer. Or is it Huck Finn?
It's Tom Sawyer. It's Zom Sawyer. I'll I'll keep really quiet.
I was thinking
Good.
more a weekend at Zerny's thing, but
so.
Yeah, right.
Are you still just carrying the hat like in front of you, or is somebody like wearing it, or actually?
Yeah, I've popped
Okay.
it up on top of my head so that he has more of a vantage point and can look out through his I wanted to say gumdrop buttons, but that's not it. His
My button eyes.
that's the ones. Yeah, so he can look out around the city because he hasn't been here in a while.
Okay. And eventually you get down to the waterfront. You can see in the distance that the Sea Maiden's Fair is still around. The boats are still
Ah,
docked in the harbor, and the circus tent is looking bigger and wilder than ever. It seems like they've had kind of a quieter winter, and now they're getting ready to start running some parades and festivals around town, off in the distance.
is that
But yeah,
unusual that they would still be here for this long?
you don't know.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit from like a sales perspective, but
Yeah, I
for like
guess
a
as long as
traveling
they're
fair kind of thing.
still making money, they would stick around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you want to get in touch with Zelopharn?
hmm. I would probably just jump in the water and shout his name.
Yeah, because you can swim.
I could swim and breathe
super fast and
underwater,
hold your breath.
so I'd be like, that'd probably be the first thing that I would think of because no one above the water is gonna be able to hear it at that point if I get out a little bit. So
Yeah. Is there a place where we've kind of generally been when we've talked with him?
Wasn't there a barrier where he couldn't leave or couldn't
Yeah.
get too close to
Yeah.
the city?
He couldn't come too close.
Yeah, there was like
We'd have
one
to get out
longer pier
past
that
it.
you were using to communicate with him, like when you gave him that shirt.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
probably
where
You
we
go to
go
that
back.
same one.
the
Yeah.
last place we hung out for sure.
Okay. So you
And
go at
then-
the end of that pier. You see no sign of him, but Scoot, you jump in the water and swim around for a while. Roll survival
Okay.
just to see if you can like track him down.
Probably not. It's been a little while since I've been in the water.
Before he gets in, can I offer him guidance?
It's not going to help, but thanks. I actually did. I rolled a 3, and then I add 3, and then I add 3 more, so 9.
Okay. It takes you a little while, and you kind of get the attention of some of the fishermen and merchants that are around the docks for like a small crowd kind of gathers to watch this really slipstream, fast-moving orc just like cavort around in the water, like diving down and coming back up for breath. And
I don't have to come up
just,
for
like,
breath.
yelling. Not at all?
No, I got that pendant.
Okay. Well,
So I
then,
can breathe
guess
underwater and I
if,
got
like,
double
just
swim
the
speed.
shouting underwater, yeah, that's enough to sort of get the attention of some of the merchants in the area. And eventually,
It's truly like a Homer Simpson delivered. Zelathorn! 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 Nothing.
okay.
Just for as long as I need.
So after about 20 minutes, you see a couple of dark shapes moving in the water. There's like some larger fish, and a shark kind of keeps a safe distance from you. Then eventually, kind of like gliding through the water towards you, you see this dark shape that you recognize as your draconic friend, Zelafarn. And he kind of swims up to you and then like holds a finger to his lips
Oh.
and says, Scoot, I'm trying to keep a low profile out here. Haven't seen you in a while, man.
No, yeah, hey. Do I have to whisper underwater?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, I didn't know how it
Nice
worked.
travels.
Hey, buddy,
Hey,
how you been?
hey, man. Oh, just keeping the harbor safe.
Oh, it looks fantastic. There's a shark over there that's giving me a bad look, but aside from that, it's been real nice down here.
Yeah, these silver waves have been full of justice.
Oh, yeah,
You can count on me.
delivered by our best member.
Well, I wouldn't want to presume, but I never take breaks. Justice never sleeps.
Oh, we got to talk about that. You needed to rest a couple times.
I figured you guys have just been so busy for the last couple months.
It's been interesting.
I heard something happened to Lark.
Yeah,
He stopped coming over.
yeah. I wanted to talk to you about that. We were hoping you could help out.
With what? What can I do?
All right, so, and then I go into the deal with the necromancer, which I
Oh.
shouldn't be talking about at all because I'm supposed to be keeping it
Oh.
a secret now that I realize.
Yeah. So how much detail do you go into? Like the full?
I would tell him that we met somebody who was offering to resurrect him. I would tell him for sure about our portal travels just now, and then I would say that he's up. Lark's soul is up on the dock right now, but we need to get him a body.
Okay.
So yeah. So long story short, or short story long, depending on how I did this. We need a diamond.
A ladder. That's some heady stuff, man.
Yeah, it's been a trip.
Well, I don't keep gems in my hoard, but I have all kinds of treasures.
Hmm.
Maybe we could barter for one.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
That's
We're just standing back on the dock.
you just see bubbles
Looking-
coming up every so often, which I don't understand that either because I'm not breathing.
Yeah.
I suppose this thing gave me gills and I'm absorbing. Okay, it's a whole thing.
Do you want to come down and take a look?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Oh, awesome. Well, here, we need to get some kind of way for your friends to come down too. So, do you still have potions of water breathing or anything like that?
Don't know if we ever had anything like that.
The only
Maybe,
one who would need it is Zay. I'm not there. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking.
Well, that's a good
You-
point, actually. And Zay
come-
can shapeshift, so yeah.
Come to think of it,
I can't do swimming yet. Oh no, I can do swimming, just not flying. Yeah, sweet.
kind of retconning this a little bit. If depending on how far I am and how good Lark's telepathy skills are, we could just be doing this messenger style. I could be shooting messages back to Lark.
Oh, like conveying it
If he's
mentally while you speak. Yeah,
if he can still connect with me telepathically.
it's about 60 feet, so it might be
All right.
kind of shoddy connection.
Okay, so you're getting every fourth word,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay, how far?
Yeah, it sounds like Scoot is going to go down to Zelopharn's something, but I missed that word.
Hey, we should probably jump in the water and follow him. Zay, can you make yourself into something that can swim?
Absolutely.
or is it I mean, how close can Zelfarn get to the dock?
Well, he can go all the way up. There's a big crowd watching now, and he doesn't want to like advertise his presence.
All right. Well, could I?
And he says as much.
If they jump in, could I sort of give them a tow underwater to where he is, and then we all go together?
Yeah.
If we can grab onto Zelfarn.
Yeah,
I think Scoot said jump in.
Yeah, I go. Yeah, I reach the surface. I go. Water's fine. Come on in. Just trying to play off the whole thing.
as the crowd watches. Yeah.
Well, you guys never seen an orc take a
Going
bath
for a
before?
swim. Yeah.
Let's
No,
go.
they're starting to get kind of bored. The crowd's starting to disperse.
Yeah.
Okay, I jump into the water. Can the hat get wet? Will it? Zay, do you think anything bad will happen to the hat if it gets wet?
Can I druid craft a bubble of air around it?
Yeah, sure.
Or I can put it in the
I
bag of
could
holding.
do a 5-foot cube of harmless sensory effect. I don't know. You just said sure. I'm doing it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to decide if I want to turn into something that can breathe above water and below, or screw it. I'm going to turn into a dolphin.
Cool.
I'm gonna jump in the water with this bubbled hat and swim over to Zay and hold on to her dorsal fin with one hand.
My other thought was a giant seahorse, but this works great. I know. Maybe I should have done that. Okay, no, it's dolphin. Dolphin.
Okay. And Zelfarn greets you animatedly. He waves both of his little dragon hands and kind of like billows his wings before like going back into sleek, streamlined mode again.
I do.
Is he wearing the t-shirt?
He is wearing the t-shirt.
I was
Yeah. It's looking a little bit bedraggled, kind of stained. Like he doesn't really wash his clothes. He's just always underwater, and that comes with different effects. Like it's kind of moldy, but yeah.
So we head down to Zelfarm's stash.
Yeah, so over the course of about a half an hour, he kind of leads you down and down and down and down in the harbor, down some crags and clefts, until eventually you reach this big overturned galleon that kind of sits at the mouth of a cave, and you kind of go under it, and then there's a little hole that is about Zelfarn sized that you all are able to shoot out of, and there's breathable air within this galleon. It's sort of a pocket along this cave. And he turns towards you all and says, "This is it. This is my pad. Check it out."
Zelopharn, it's awesome.
It's pretty nice.
Thanks. And in it is all kinds of random stuff. It's sort of like, you think of like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Like he finds all sorts of mortal, human, and humanoid trinkets to be interesting, and so he has all this different stuff that he's dredged up from the bay. There's things that seem actually valuable, like big like sculptures and urns and different just artifacts from old cultures that he's pulled out of wrecked ships. And then there's like random stuff like little candles and like really cool looking skeletons with like strange golden implements like grafted to their forms, and coffins and all sorts of interesting paraphernalia. He's like, "Yeah, it's taken me a couple of years, but I think this is probably the greatest dragon horde this side of the Sword Coast." Yeah.
I have to
You've got
100%
hoofs and
agree.
What's its galore?
You're the dragon who has everything.
Stuff's pretty neat.
But I want more.
I don't know. I'd say your collection's
What I
complete.
want is to be where the people are. But there's a barrier
that
preventing
curse.
me from getting in.
How do you feel about giving up your voice?
I'm kind of fond of it. But
Yeah.
if that would help, I guess.
I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's a good deal, but
Okay.
Zay
Is there
starts-
anything Yeah,
nosing
go ahead.
around as a dolphin, kind of nosing around looking for something that might be shiny and interesting to try to barter with.
Well, you'd have to shape out of being a dolphin probably to get around in the dry part of the lair.
Oh, there's a
Um,
dry part?
that's what I was getting at. Is that yeah? You kind of go under the ship and shoot out
Oh,
this hole
Yeah,
into a breathable air section again.
Okay,
There
I'm
is some
gonna.
stuff on the outside too. There's like all kinds of decorations festooning the underwater part too. If you want to like explore that.
yeah, I'll explore around that part.
Okay.
So
Ilka,
I'm
what do you?
gonna take the hat and turn it around backwards on my head so that I can look through the treasure in front of me and
Oh,
Lark can
nice.
look behind.
Nice.
So why
Genius.
don't both of you roll investigation? Ilka, roll it with advantage since
Ooh.
Lark is assisting you.
Is he though?
I think so.
It's looking the opposite way.
Two sets of eyes are better than one, right?
That's
I
fair.
got a 23.
Jesus.
Oh my god. 16 for me.
12.
Okay. Yeah, you find out there's plenty of value in this hoard. Basically, there's you know, like it'd be hard to like appraise it. Put like a real gold amount on it right away, but there's definitely more than enough material in here to sell to someone for a few thousand gold coins, which would buy you a fist-sized diamond for sure. The question is then like the logistics of getting it back to the surface and you know making sure Zelopharn's okay with parting with it and finding someone to buy it. So and then there's more value towards the back of the hoard, like way within this cave that this sunken ship is kind of attached to. On the outside, it's mostly kind of like decorative stuff, like sort of ostentatious, like look, I'm a dragon and this is my lair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see, Zay, when you're out there. It's all sorts of like weird sculpture, like kind of like hung on coral reef stuff, that kind of thing.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe there was gems encrusted in it or something like that, but
Yeah.
keep an eye out. I only got a 12.
So that's what you see. And Zelopharn says, what's up with Swoj? What's our mission?
Right now, our mission is to turn Lark from this hat self into a body self.
Oh, of course.
And for that,
So,
we've got a friend who can do some interesting sort of magic.
mhm.
But for that, he needs a piece of Lark when he was alive, his soul here in the hat, and a big ol' rock.
Like you talking like a gem? Like
Yeah,
yeah.
a diamond.
Oh. Well, okay. You could definitely, I don't know. Do you know anyone really wealthy that could give you a diamond, or otherwise you could take some of my hoard, I guess. But I don't know. It might be kind of hard to to find a buyer for a bunch of I mean, my stuff is nice, but it's not. It kind of seems like he sees where this is going right away, and he seems really apprehensive about giving up his hoard. Basically, like he's kind of just like talking out his butt at this point, trying to like change the subject or tell you that it'd be really difficult to procure something using his hoard.
I think you're right, Zelfarn. We were hoping that maybe you had a diamond yourself, but I think it's going to be a whole process to try to drag some of this to the surface and trade for it. So, who do you know who might have gems?
We could talk to Rainier.
Rainier keeps rocks?
I don't know how much wealth he has access to, but he's one of the richest people we know.
Didn't we have
Zelfarn
some?
says, if only you had something like a bag of holding, you could get my stuff out of here really easily. That that would just be way too lucky. I just post.
Now hold on, Zelfarn. I'm getting mixed messages. Are you cool
right.
with us taking some of your stuff or no?
What? Taking my stuff? No, I mean, no. I would happily, if it meant bringing Lark back. It would pain me greatly. I've spent a long time working on this hoard, but in the end, the real hoard is the friends that we make along the way.
Absolutely.
And therefore,
For
if
the
it means
horde.
bringing Lark back for the For the horde, I would do anything, and by the horde I mean my friends. Just you have to find the right buyer, I guess, and if it seemed like it would work out, I would be willing to do that. So if you have a wealthy friend of yours or client or something, then yeah, we could set up a deal or something. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go chat with some of our wealthy friends and see if we can negotiate something.
Is there something down here that we could take up that Rainier might want to buy, though?
Rainier,
Never Ember.
Never
Oh, I
Ember.
was sorry. Yeah, I was chatting with the rest of the gang here. Sorry, Zelifarn.
Oh,
I didn't assume that you would know who I meant, but it's fine.
oh, I don't. I know Never Ember was the old open lord.
Yeah, this is his son. He's way nicer.
Oh, well, it'd be hard not to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was a dick.
Totally.
Yeah, what does he like? Does he like artifacts? I don't like shiny things.
Did Never Ember put the border, the barrier up, or does it predate that?
That's a good question. The artifact that is creating the barrier is older, from what you've gathered. But I think the ward was put up by Never Ember. Yes.
Yeah. No wonder he thinks he's a dick.
Yep.
What was the thing that Ilka found with her 23 investigation that looked like it would be a really good possibility, worth about 1,000 gold?
Maybe let's see. How about a
Wait,
really
wait.
beautiful? Oh, go ahead.
What if there's something that's got like Never Ember history to it
Yeah.
here in this horde
Yeah. Like
that would be specifically valuable to Rainier?
And Zelifarn goes back and he says, you mentioned the Never Embers. Actually, I found this old ledger. It's been sealed in wax and vellum, and so it really held up over the years. But it was in an old wreck, and it contains records of the Never Embers' personal shipping manifests and lots of information relative to their family. Maybe if Rainier is on the outs with his dad, this something like this would be helpful to him.
Oh my god.
Oh, cool. Blackmail fodder. Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff, right?
That's amazing. Okay, Zelifarn, can we take that ledger?
Yeah, it's nothing to me. I mean, I always just thought it was kind of a curio, but no, take it, please.
Okay, I'm going to take it and start flipping through it and see if there's any incriminating dirt in here.
Yeah, it'll take you some time, but it seems like right away, like it's in great condition, and there's just all kinds of. You'd have to like on surface level, it's just like accountant's logs. It's like all kinds of records of things. So if you had something to compare it to, something to like see what is legit and what is not, that would give you more context. But
Oh, yeah.
like up front, it's hard to tell.
I saw
Is
the
it-
Untouchables.
Is there a way for Zay to pop her little dolphin head in and get a breath of air?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I do that.
And and a cute dolphin head pokes out for a moment, and Rhaenyra waves, or not Rhaenyra, sorry,
Zelifarn.
Zelifarn, thank you. Zelifarn waves, and says, my scales are getting kind of dry in here. You can take that. Just remember, if you ever get a chance to deactivate that dragon ward, I really do want to be where the people are. So,
Thank you
like
so much,
a lot more
Zelifarn.
help to Swoj. Yeah.
You're the best dragon I've ever met.
Well, you probably met a lot of dragons, so that means a lot. Thanks.
I'd give you a hug, but I don't have arms.
Oh, and he comes over and gives the hat a hug, straight up,
Aww.
very carefully. Like he understands the value of the hat, and especially with Ark inside it.
I reach up and rub his scaly face.
Aw. And he kind of gives a weird dragon grin. It looks very menacing.
All right, let's go.
Cool. We go back to the water, and I grab onto Zay's dorsal fin again.
Okay.
And
let's
you
swim
take
us
off.
back.
And Zelifarn
Come on,
accompanies you up
Scoot.
to the pier. And you make your way back to the dock again. It seems like there's someone waiting for you up above. Like there's a figure standing at the edge of the dock.
Oh,
Oh, great.
Is it by any chance Rainier?
It is not Rainier,
is it
No.
Zardos?
but from underwater you can see that it looks like the figure of Romalia Haventree,
Oh,
the Harper agent.
she likes
Oh,
us,
nice.
more or less.
Yeah.
So do you just pop right up, or what do you do?
Yeah, I pop right up.
Okay. And she nods to you, okay, as you get up. It kind of gives you a hand out of the water if you'll take it.
Yeah, I accept and brush myself off up on the dock.
Okay. What about Scoot and Zay?
Yeah, climb up out of the water.
I transform back into a halfling and climb back up.
Whoosh, and splash, and you're all back on the surface again. And she's standing on her own, but you can see at the end of the dock there are a couple city watch members kind of keeping their eyes on the crowd and the pier, the jetty. And Romalia says, welcome back, my friends. I heard from some eyes down in the docks ward that you were active, so I thought I'd stop down and see for myself. And I'm overjoyed to see that you're all back together again.
Thank
As
you.
are we.
I'm sorry about the loss of Lark.
As are we.
I got your message in the Xanathar's lair, and we sent a contingent down only to find that the entire lair was destroyed. You know, there was hardly anything left for us to try and even sift through. So I'm glad to hear that most of you at least made it out safely.
Thank you for those very kind sentiments.
Yeah. Well, sentiments are sentiments. I also wanted to just check in with you and let you know that we believe we know where another one of the eyes of the Stone of Galore might be hidden.
What?
Yeah, we think that during the chaos of the Xanathar guild basically going under, the second eye may have been picked up by the Zentarim. We don't know exactly where it's being held, but we're currently doing the City Watch is holding a crackdown on the Zentarim. We're trying to round up as many of their known agents as we can, and questioning them, trying to find out where their leader might be located and what might be going on with them. So,
But right now you don't know where their leader is located.
no, we theorize that they might be somewhere in the trades ward. The Zentarim presence seems to be the strongest there. They've been working with many merchants and trying to sort of lay a claim to that part of the city, in particular. But
Okay.
we don't know exactly. There's this old tower in the trades ward. It's actually two towers that are adjoined by a bridge. It's called the Kolat Towers, and there's a strange force field around these towers. They've been that way for years and years, for decades. But we think that there might be something going on there, just based on reports from passersby. So that's one of our next stops.
Well,
Thank you.
for keeping
course.
us in the loop.
Do you make any indication that Lark is alive? Any of you?
If only Lark were here to help us with this quest.
In
Is there-
truth, she says.
Is there anything we could do to be of assistance with this?
I don't have any specific mission for you. It's just, if I can do anything for you in the loss of your friend Lark, I know you put your lives on the line to go and find that first eye. You did find it, right?
Yeah, we think we've got it. And Scoot shifting his eyes back and Scoot shifting his eyes back and forth with possibly the worst deception check ever.
Yep.
She rolled a 15. She says, well, don't worry, the Stone of Galore is still safe with us, so we're on the track of the Horde of Dragons. I'll let you know once we learn more about the Zentarim.
Excellent. Well, you'll likely be able to find us at the short rest.
All right. Well, then I'll be seeing you again soon, I hope. Do you still have that sending stone that I gave you?
Didn't Lark have it?
I think it was confiscated. He was trying to say something into it when we were in that pit, and then it got taken away right at the last second. So I think we're down a sending stone.
She says, well, it just so happens that I have one spare sending stone.
Oh,
It's my last one.
Your burner sending stone.
Yeah. It's one of those older models. It's a Zokia. It's really hard to break, but it still works.
They're getting a lot of spam phone calls on this one. That's why you switched it up. Spam sends.
So these ones, they're don't have as much range, but still enough to work in the city limits. And you can drop it, smash it with a brick, it'll be fine. Here you go. And she gives it to Zay.
Say takes it and shakes her hand.
No, and she seems kind of surprised and shakes her hand too.
It's because I'm not sure if she would like me to hug her. And normally I would. I've learned some stoicism from some restraint from Lark's death.
Uh-huh.
So what I really wanted to do was hug her because we're such good friends. But I just kind of shake her hand really with a good grip.
Mhm. And she cracks a genuine grin at that, and she shakes her hand back. She says, "Yeah, no, I've missed you all. I'm glad to see you're active again. These last couple of months have been kind of strange, And Scoot and Ilka, you would know, kind of hanging around the short rest more, that um, the Waterdeep Wazoo was like all over the short rest in Swoj for those first couple of weeks after the Xanathar's Lair incident. But since then, since like no news has come from Swoj really, they've kind of like trailed off to the point now where you're kind of like a dead lead for the news, and so you're kind of lost the spotlight. There's other stuff going on in the city, so you're sort of more anonymous than you used to be.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Excellent. Yep, happy about
Right.
that.
Right. So that's that. And then she accompanies you back to your cart, gives a nod to Terry on the way out as if she understands what's going on with him, and he nods back. And yeah, what would you like to do?
So it's just the four of us now.
Yes.
Did you find anything? Did you find a diamond? I ask my companions.
Silka.
No, he
I'm-
does not. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say that Ilka found some Neverember accounting book thing. We think that Renair's gonna want it.
Awesome. Let's go to his tavern. He has a
No, I
tavern,
don't think
right?
No, I don't think so. But he lives, or he has a place kind of near the short rest. At least he did at one point.
Oh, why did I think
But
he
that
owned a
was years
tavern?
ago.
No, Lark, it was months ago.
Oh right, I keep forgetting. That was really
All
hard
right.
not to say anything to Amalia. I have so many questions for her.
Oh, I bet. You could have told me and then I could have asked her.
Ah, I should have. I'm not
That's
very
right.
good at this telepathy thing. Terry, I don't know how
Next
you do
time.
it.
Terry's like, it's all right, man. You just got to keep it casual, just you got a clear line of communication with anybody around you. So just enjoy it.
Lark, if you're comfortable with her knowing about you, we could go back and talk to her.
No, that's
Well,
okay. We should get to Renair.
then she
Okay.
might have the questions about like the necromancer and we're not supposed to talk
Oh,
about
that's true.
that.
Yep.
All right. Shall we head to Renair's place?
His abode.
Yeah.
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 We need a code word so we don't end up saying necromancer out loud.
Necronancer.
Yes.
Oh, good one, Scoot.
They'll never guess.
Mm-mm. Say
Nancy?
Tim?
Nancy Tim.
Nancy Tim. Sounds
Nancy
good, guys.
Tim.
Perfect.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's getting to be like afternoon, end of the day. Businesses are opening up their doors for like evening meals up the high road as you make your way north. And after about a half an hour, you find your way towards Renair's apartment. It seems there's a light on inside. The door is closed.
Jump out of the cart, stride on up, and knock on the door.
Sure. And after about a minute, kind of like a little sliding like eye hole opens up. And then immediately after the door swings open, and Renair welcomes you all with open arms. He says, "My goodness, the silver waves of justice at my own doorstep. It's been so long. It's great to see you all again."
I jump forward and hug him tightly to get my my head close enough to whisper and ask if we can speak with him privately.
He says, "Yes, come in. It's dinner time. Come on in. Come on in." And he invites the three of you. Terry seems like he wants to come in too, but he's willing to wait outside.
Terry, I'll get you some food. I'll get you some food.
Thanks, man.
Oh.
Not that I really need it, but I appreciate it. This body does so. And you come inside, and this apartment seems definitely like a really upper class apartment. Like it goes up a couple of levels, and the kitchen it's like this beautiful modern open floor plan kind of thing. which is a modern thing in Waterdeep too. And he's got some food cooking already. It's sort of like this big old stew pot. It kind of smells iffy, like he's not the best cook. Uh, but he welcomes you all to come sit down and says, I wasn't expecting company tonight, but there's more than enough food for everyone. So, um, what can I do for the heroes of Waterdeep? He says with a raised eyebrows and a grin. He says, Ilka, you want to talk?
Yes. So we're back, more or less. Not just the three of us, but in fact the four of us. And I pull the hat off my head and I hold it out.
He furrows his brows and says, yeah, that's Lark's hat, right? I remember. I was at the funeral. Your music was beautiful, Ilka, at the service.
No, Rainier, I'm in the hat.
He does a double take. And says, Lark?
Yeah, hi.
You're in the hat. You're
Yeah,
actually in the hat.
Swoj came and rescued my soul, and now I'm in this hat.
Okay, and at this point, when he's starting to get excited about this is when I start getting food and bringing it out to Terry.
Oh, okay. He doesn't even bat an eye.
I'm just like, now's the time. It's going to be awkward otherwise. So I grab something. I bring it downstairs to Terry.
Terry's like, I appreciate it, Scott. Or Scoot.
Scoot, you son of a bitch. Well, I cannot believe you mispronounced my name again.
It happens. It's weird. And Renair says, well, this is truly news worth celebrating. So your soul was in the afterlife, but you were able to bring it back? How? Through what magic?
Scoot and I went to the afterlife with Zay, and it was a really complicated process, but he's back now, at least partially. To get him fully back, there's a ritual, and we need a diamond.
And we're hoping
Yeah, and
for
we
your
figured
help.
you'd be the person to talk to. Sorry,
Ultimately,
Zay.
ultimately, what we need is a diamond the size of my fist, and I hold up my little fist in front of him. And
You-
on our path there, if you can't help us directly get to a diamond the size of my fist, we're hoping you can help us on a path to get you there. But we come with I know that you would do it just because you are such a good friend of Swoj, but we also have something to offer you to compensate. And I gesture to
Wow.
Ilka.
He's taking a
Not
moment to
it's
think
not
them over.
Ilka.
He says, well, I definitely have gemstones, different values. I prefer to keep my money, my fortune fluid, and gemstones are a good way of doing that. So, yeah, I mean, tell me what you need. You said a diamond the size of Zay's fist? I can provide that, yes.
Oh, thanks, Rainier.
And
Hey,
as
Lark, I'm just glad you're back. I'm confused still. So Zay, you have the power to bring people into the afterlife? If so, that's an amazing tool.
no, it's my unicorn friend
Oh, so the unicorn brought all of you back, huh?
of a sort.
I
Yes.
think so. It was kind of confusing.
Hmm. It seems like it would take a
There,
powerful wizard. I mean, unicorns definitely have a connection to the Feywild, but he seems a little bit skeptical of this story.
there was a unicorn and a giant goat, and there was a wolf, and there were these rat people, and it was crazy. There was
And
red
Rowan Crooks
lightning
was there.
and Rowan Crooks. Oh, I didn't see that part, but it was amazing.
I flip Lark upside down and I show the signature.
Wow, and he reads it, and his jaw kind of goes slack for a second, and he says, "This is outside of my wheelhouse, you guys. But I mean, wow, just wow. Uh, have you told any like should I keep this on the DL or what's the plan
Definitely.
here?"
Yes, I can't believe we've told you this much.
Okay,
Yeah, Renee, in case you notice us being a little cagey about this, we're not sure how much we should be telling in the first place.
And you're the only person we've told, so if this is in the wazoo tomorrow, we'll know.
Well,
What are
no.
the sources?
he says, "Well, don't worry. I know a thing or two about keeping a low profile."
We know you do.
Yeah.
And so, Scoot, you feel free to come back at any point here from helping Terry out.
I assume I did.
Yeah. But he kind of like leans forward then and says, he says, "So you said you had something for me."
Yeah,
What about these?
where I don't know where the book is. If it's in the bag of holding. Either way, I pull it out. Um, we think this is a ledger of past Never Ember dealings.
No, and he takes it if you let him and leafs through
Mhm.
it a little bit, and his eyes go wide right away, and he says he starts nodding and kind of like stroking his goatee, and says, "Yeah, yep, yeah, that's exactly what this is. This is incredible. Do you see the notches on the sides of the pages here? This is a secret script used by one of my dad's old quartermasters. Now this is, oh my God!" And he starts paging through it, and he eventually kind of stands up and starts kind of like awkwardly like fidgeting, like he's not sure what to do with himself. He's so excited. And he says, like with these records, I could bring these back to the nobles in Neverwinter and potentially throw my dad in jail, if they work with me. There's enough information in here to you know, close the book on him, so to speak.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
maybe we could
Good.
get a diamond the size of Scoot's hand.
No, it's no longer a
He
fist.
says,
Now it's my open hand.
Yeah,
it's
right.
not a transaction. I'll go get one right
No,
now. And
I
he,
know.
he
No,
disappears up the stairs. Says, I'll be right back. And he goes upstairs. You hear him thumping around and rummaging.
I'm glad we had a thank you for him.
Yeah. And he comes back down with a small black pouch that he sets on the table with a loud thunk.
Yep,
And he
sounds like a
says,
diamond.
I only have a couple of these, so, take good care of it.
Thank you, Rainier.
Right. Thank you, Rainier.
Says,
Your
"Of
hair
course."
looks amazing.
As always.
He says, well, I've been stuck indoors for a while, so I've had a lot of time to preen.
Well, it shows.
Thanks.
I wish I could show you my mustache. I grew a really epic mustache while I was in the afterlife.
He says, I can hear it, Lark. I can hear it in the cadence of your voice. That's a really dashing thing you've got going there.
Thank
When I
you. Thank
when
you.
I get a chance, I'm drawing a mustache on the hat.
Right below the little googly eyes.
Yep.
All right. Shall we
All right,
head
we
back
should
to
go
the short
talk to,
rest?
or can we just head straight to Nancy?
No,
No,
we
we
have
need
to.
your body.
Yeah, we need
Oh,
your body.
right. Okay. Okay. All right. Bye, Rainier.
Oh, good luck, my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's got the pouch with the rock?
Oh,
That's
I
what
walk
you
back
left
in the
on
room and
table. read it.
I walk back in the room, I grab it, and I put it in the bag of holding. Sorry, forgot.
I would have compared it to the size of my fist.
Forgot what we were here for. And I grabbed
It's
some
like about
food on the way out too.
4 Zayfists worth of diamond.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my god, that's amazing.
Yep. Um,
How badly do we need Lark back? I mean, this hat thing seems to be working out. Just kidding. They would never
Lark?
say anything like that.
Good one, Zay.
All right.
So you
So
make your way where to next?
Short rest.
Outside of the short rest, you see Nat and Jenks hanging out, kicking a corn husk around the front of the
I
house.
run to them and do the secret, like, gang sign of the gang that
Yes.
Nat taught me.
And they do it in return,
Yay!
with kind of a shy grin from Nat. And Jenks is in his typical Great Wizard Jenks grandioseness. He takes his big old stick that he has and slams it on the ground and says, "The Great Wizard Jenks welcomes you from wherever you were."
Thank you, Great
Zay,
Wizard Jenks.
Rumpelstride.
Yes. Wait. Oh my goodness. Does he know something about me I don't know?
Maybe.
That's amazing. I have this like connection, and when I hear the name Rumpelstride, and I'm like, that sounds right.
He's unfazed by your reaction.
I've
There's
been
no
in the
sign of
Fae.
twiddling. He says, "The Fae, of course. I spend many weeks and weekends in the Fae, fighting evil.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!" Nat is like rolling her eyes next to him.
Ask him where Squidly is.
Where's Squidly?
Hmm. The prodigal son of our group.
Oh
Uh,
no.
so we haven't seen much of Squidly the last few weeks since you asked.
Oh no.
Uh, yeah, no, he's been hanging around the bad part of town.
What?
Kind of ever since his brother died, and I think he's been kind of feeling a need to strike out on his own, so to speak.
But who's one
Yeah,
of our regulars?
I don't know, man. He's been mixing around with the wrong sorts. I think
No.
spending a lot of time in the trades ward. Doesn't really tell us what he's up to.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Uh. Uh. His
By
brother, Quail.
Thale.
Fail.
Fail.
Thale was his
Fail.
name, say.
L- Uh. Didn't he work for the Zentrum?
No, he worked for the Xanathar.
He worked for the
I
Xana. Oh, right, because
I
that's how
say
he knew
today
how to.
only. Yeah.
He knew how to get. He knew how to get us around there. So maybe Squidly's doing something similar. Maybe he's trying to like infiltrate.
Maybe he's
Or
joined
maybe
the
he joined up with the
Zentrum
Zents.
to
Yeah.
fight the
Yeah.
people
Sorry,
who
that's what I meant.
killed his brother.
He's gonna get
Yeah, the
revenge. Oh
opposite.
no.
Well, he should come to us if he wants revenge. We're real good at that.
I mean,
Yeah, we're pretty
if
worried
we
about
were
him.
if we
Go
were
ahead.
really good at it, his brother might have got out of there alive. Just thinking from his
Yeah.
perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, normally we'd be okay with it, but the fact that he's been out of touch with us says that there's something else going on. Maybe he really is calling it outsies
Oh
and
no.
doing his own thing.
All right.
How
Well,
can
if
we
you.
help?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I guess find him and talk to him. You guys were there when whatever happened to Thale, right? Whenever that happened.
Yeah.
So maybe he just needs a connection, something to
Maybe we
ground
can commune with his spirit.
him.
I think we could probably make that happen.
I think we probably could.
All
But
right.
not in this episode.
Great Wizard Jenks, we'll see if we can find Squidly.
Yes.
And Nat.
And that's right there.
No, I mean at Great Wizard Jenks and Nat. We'll
Oh.
see if we can
Yes.
find Squidly.
Yes. All right.
And Nat nods.
Let's get the
So,
ashes and go.
yeah. Well, should we wait until nightfall? Or, like, is it still. It's been 2 months. It's probably not a crime scene anymore. The Gralhund Manor. We have to get into that bedroom.
Hmm. Well, yeah, business is still going on at the short rest, so you can.
Yes.
How do you want to do it?
So what do we think is our best bet? So once we're out of earshot of people, I ask, shall we wait till nighttime or should we just like broadly walk right up and be like, we need to do this thing? What do you think is our best bet to get to the teleportation circle?
Have we been around the Growlhound Villa in a while? Do we have any idea what it looks like?
I don't think you've been there at all since the bloodbath the last time.
Yeah. Have we heard anything about it? Do we know about any comings and goings?
Roll intelligence history.
Yeah.
All of us?
Anyone? I guess Scoot and Ilka.
Nat 20.
Oh shit.
Oh, nice.
14.
Yeah. Has there been any like fallout from the trial with Orand and I forget what her
Yala.
name was? Yala.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know from kind of keeping your ear to the ground, Ilka especially. What'd you get, Scoot? 14.
I got a 14.
Okay. The Gralhounds have been kind of under lockdown from the City Watch. They've had like a constant presence at their manor, sort of investigating what's going on with the Zentarim connection and the demonic magic found in their home. You know that there was some evidence that the Castellanters were linked to the Gralhounds as well, but that the Castellanters managed to avoid any direct investigation, probably thanks to their money and the power that brings. They donate gratuitously to lots of different philanthropic efforts around town, and so they're able to kind of keep a clean veneer through that. But the Gralhounds are very much just kind of under the heel of the government right now, and so they haven't been super active in any circles around town. So
And we
that's what
think
you know.
they're still occupying the manor.
Seems likely. Yep.
Okay.
And they got a 24-hour watch on them from the city guard.
Right. Yep.
Well,
Does
that's
make
going to
it
be
difficult
tough.
to sneak in. Yep.
So do we bring them some sort of something to gain their favor and just ask to go and it was the Lord of the Manor's bedroom, right?
That's correct. I think. Yep. Because he's up in a separate room from his wife. Yep.
Ooh, we're friends with the servants. We save them.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ilka, did you share what you've learned, like what you know from keeping your ear to the ground with the rest of us?
Yeah, so the all that stuff. They're being kept under close watch, which both works for and against us. Uh they're not going to be trying anything shady, but also they've got a city watch on them most of the time.
How's our relationship with the city watch?
It's
pretty
not
good.
great in this part of the town, no, is it?
It's mixed. Yeah.
Is it?
Depends
If
who
we
you're
could,
Well,
talking to.
maybe
if we could
we could
find
ask, I
somebody who's
guess.
Some
friendly
of them
to
aren't
us,
fans.
then maybe somebody lets their guard down for a second. We can try to sneak in.
Could we dress up as staff and see if the servants will let us in and we'll just go like clean the room, but then actually disappear in a puff of smoke?
Zay, can you be an animal that could sneak in that can still carry this stuff?
We have a horse.
Yes. A
Terry's like,
sneaky horse.
yes, that's
Can
right.
can we do a delivery?
Terry's like, I'm ready, man. I can play the part. You tell me.
Put me in, coach.
Yep.
Now hold on. The last time we were in that room, when Oberon got his throat slit, didn't the assassin jump out the window?
Yes.
So there's a
Well, he was,
window.
yeah,
I think he was
All we have to do
incapacitated,
is
wasn't he? And then he
yeah. He
teleported
was
out.
he was trying to get to the window, yeah, but
Oh,
then Scoot hit
Yeah,
him with a dresser.
that's right.
yeah. It was Mr. E that jumped out a window.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a floor down on the library, but there is a
Right.
window in that room.
okay. So we
We are
fly
off.
in the window with the stuff, the three reagents, and that's probably better than going in the front door.
Flying in the window.
Do I know a path? Because I mean, the Growlhund estate is just around the corner from Trollskull Manor. Do I know a path along the roofs to get to the top of the Growlhund estate?
You could. There's a street surrounding it, so you have to find a way to get across the street from the adjoining rooftops. But there's so there'd be a roof and then a street and then the wall that kind of encircles the estate. And then from the wall to that window would be a pretty easy jump.
I share this
So
information with everybody.
I do have on my feet some boots of striding and springing.
Ooh.
that's right.
And
Can you carry? I mean, you'd only be carrying Ilka, Zay, and a hat. Can you carry that much and jump up to the window? That doesn't seem like a huge heavy load.
Or I could carry a
Terry's like, I
rope.
could boost ya.
Yeah, let's do it.
I could turn into an ape and probably wear the hat.
The most subtle entrance.
So
So that's less subtle than a half orc
Yeah, it's
climbing through the window carrying a halfling.
Equally bad, I think.
I'm just thinking I could, swing and get a rope up there, but I suppose we just have our skills for those things as well.
Find a barrel and shoot out of it.
okay, is Oron likely to be there in the bedroom asleep if we break in the dead of night?
Unclear.
Okay,
But that room was pretty thoroughly trashed the last time you guys were through there. So
it's true. He might have opted for more comfortable sleeping quarters.
right.
Let's
Or
go
he-
find out.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
All right. So are we trying to sneak in or are we coming in through the window?
I think we're going through the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring like grappling hooks and stuff.
Yeah. So Terry brings you around with the cart to the street adjacent to that window, and you can see it like just peeking over the wall from the far side of the street. Do you want to like try to get up onto the wall first and then jump in, or what's your MO?
Yeah, let's do the wall.
How high is
Yeah,
the
all
wall?
of us are great at rolling acrobatics.
The wall is about 20 feet up.
Okay. I pulled up that fancy jump tool again.
Nice.
With the running start, if I got 10 feet of movement, I can reach up and grab something 26 feet off the ground.
No problem then.
So my high jump is 18 feet with a running start.
You got Terry boosting you too, so that gives you a horse's height worth if you want to run and then leap off of Terry. He explains to you casually.
Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah. This is the Star
We
Lord
gotta have
jump.
Terry involved.
Do we have stats on Terry, like 17 hands at the shoulder?
Yeah, thereabouts. Yep, that sounds right.
So, Terry, can you keep an eye out for the watch and just kind of tell us if they're, because once we get inside, we should be able to teleport away really quickly.
Yep. Yeah, he's like, yeah. I'm good at that.
Okay.
I'll keep a low profile, he says. As long as none of my fans show up.
Right. Hey, Scoot, can you help me up?
I'm gonna see if I can get up there first.
Oh, sorry, I thought you already did.
I haven't rolled anything, so unless the DM's just giving it to me.
Well, if it's just a standard running jump, yeah, I mean, it's nothing outside of your range. So
Run
just
it.
go
Yeah.
for it. Yep.
Okay.
Yoink. I want to say boing, but that sounds kind of silly. Like, it's probably just a quiet leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make it up there.
Okay.
Fly through the air gracefully.
All right.
For justice!
It
I'm
seems like
on.
there's nobody else on this rooftop, but the lights are on inside the manor.
Okay. What am I on? I'm on the rooftop. I'm not on the wall.
Sorry, the wall. I mean,
Okay.
like the top of this wall is where you
Okay.
are. Yeah,
All right. And then how far is the window from the wall?
it's maybe 10 feet away.
Oh. Pfft. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, at almost eye level to you. Yep.
I would lower a rope then and just start dragging people up.
Okay. And if everyone goes up, then after a couple minutes, you're all on the top of the wall, facing this window. There's definitely like flickering light coming from inside that room, as if there's something like moving past the flame that's lighting the room from time to time.
Oh.
It's kind of like closer to nighttime now, so there's definitely people in that room.
That's not great.
Are there other close rooms? Are there any balconies?
On the far side of the house, there's a balcony, but not on this side.
Okay. Okay. Here's my thought. I would like to be able. If the window's 10 feet away, how much higher is the rest of the building? Rest of the structure? It's just the top floor.
Like the top of the building
Yes.
would be maybe 15 feet up from where you are.
The 15 feet up. Okay.
Yep.
Can't.
Maybe
Well,
maybe
go ahead.
there's something I can telepathically do to draw them out of that room.
Ooh, I'm gonna summon my hawk friend and have it fly around the other side of the building and make a screeching ruckus at one of the windows.
Kia! You hear as your
Yes.
hawk friend circles closer.
Yeah, like scrabbling at the windows, making a
Yeah.
ton of noise.
Yeah, for the record, your hawk has been kind of following at a distance this whole time. Like, it kind of does its own thing, but it's always close enough to get in contact with Ilka to signal in command. So
Perfect.
plus you can summon it with your Find Familiar spell. So yeah, it perches on your arm and it's ready and willing.
Cool. I'm gonna send it up into the air and instruct it to fly around and create a diversion.
Okay. And with the Lark hat, you're gonna keep Lark
On my head.
on your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it rolled pretty well. Yeah, the falcon takes off and starts just screaming and clawing at the windows on the far side of the house as loudly as it possibly can. It sounds like a multitude of birds are just going nuts on the windows of the Gralhund Villa. And you see these figures through the window. There's at least two of them in this room next to you that kind of pause, and there's like the low exchange of voices, and then they seem to pass beyond the flame and out of sight. It's not exactly clear what's going on in there, but that's what you can perceive from outside.
This seems as good a chance as any. Let's go.
Okay, and how do you go? You just jump through the window?
Scoot, you had some plan, Scoot?
If I can jump into the room, then I could just throw a rope over again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So the window, it seems to be unlocked. You'd have to like push on one side to like cantilever it open. You know, it's one of those kind of swinging windows.
Mm-hmm.
So if you leap over there, it's really easy to just hop over to the windowsill and kind of like balance on it and experiment with it, and that's what you find.
Okay.
So you could wedge it open and then throw a rope over for everyone else. Sure.
Okay. If I had a grappling hook, I'd do that, but I don't think I do, so it's just going to have to be like a quick pull and swing and just drag them up that way.
Okay.
Sort of brute force it.
Yeah. And you're all able to get in. It seems like this bedroom has been really cleared, like of any remnants of the dresser or the bed. And there's sort of some arcane implements surrounding this teleportation circle, as if arcanists have been studying it, trying to figure out like, what it's like, who made it, and where it leads.
Is the door still open that the people left from?
Yeah, yep. The door leading north into the rest of the villa is open.
Can I close and lock it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I dart over, I close and lock the door.
Nice.
Which way does the door open?
It opens. It opens outwards into the
Damn
room,
it. All right.
away from you guys.
Quick, let's do the teleportation magic spell. Who remembers what the words were?
Okay, so I go back, I stand, shoot, do we stand in the circle? I stand in the circle and I say, Tuatha Erinji.
And as you say that, you start to hear a yanking sound from the doorknob, and like a little bit of like, what is going on? What? Someone locked the door! Someone locked the door! And then, poof, you kind of like spin. And are you all in the circle or just Ilka?
I'm on Ilka's head, so I'm definitely in the circle.
Definitely in the circle.
We need whoever has the diamond.
It's in my bag.
So Scoot and Zay.
Yeah, so I'd have to be there. And probably the ashes, too.
Yeah. I step in as well.
Okay. And as this circle starts to light up and fire up, the three of you plus Lark get kind of twisted around and sucked into the circle. And you travel through time and space for what feels like maybe half a minute before suddenly you're shot out of this wormhole you've been traveling through, and you land on your feet, standing in another teleportation circle similar to the one you just came out of. But this time you're in what looks like a stone tower, a wizard's tower, maybe 30-foot diameter. And there are all kinds of strange implements and weapons and hooks with armor hanging on them all around you. All of the armor is black, and across from you is a figure who you recognize at the far end of the room. It's this humanoid man with a big old scar down his face. The same man that you encountered in that room that you just teleported from previously, months ago. And when he sees you, his face just drops for a second and then twists into a scowl. And he says, "What are you doing here?" Under his, like, with his jaws clenched.
Wait, the guy who cut Elrond's throat? That guy?
That same guy. Yep.
I was wondering if this would lead to the same place that he went to.
Yep.
I say out loud.
Good call, Zay.
I was kind of thinking
And you see he starts drawing like a long knife from his side and starts kind of like readying to like mess you guys up.
seek the wizard of this tower.
Of course you do, he says. The master is not taking guests.
Yeah, no, he's taking us.
He totally fails his insight check, so he does not believe you. So as he's like getting ready to like throw the knife at you, like he is suddenly stopped, like dashing from down the stairs comes a small halfling, who you recognize also as the halfling from the Xanathar's lair with the two knives. She says, "No, Erstal, hold." And he freezes and looks at her, and she says, "These two are guests of the masters. What they say is true, you idiot."
She called them Erstal?
Erstal.
Okay.
And the halfling with the two knives we saw where? In the Xanathar's lair?
That was
Yeah,
in the cell with me and Zay.
Yeah,
That one. Okay. the gladiatorial.
Yeah, who wouldn't give up the
Yeah.
beholder
You saw
stuffy?
her mess up a minotaur skeleton. Yep.
Right.
She was not impressed by us and figured we were all going to die.
Yep.
Right.
She's only kind of right.
Oh no.
And then she looks at you all and says, "Look, if you're gonna meet with the master, come with me. Don't touch anything." And she starts leading you up the stairs, unless you want to touch something or do anything else down here.
I kind of want to touch something out of spite as soon as her back is turned.
Yep, I had the
back
exact
is
same
turned,
thought. I come close to touching things. I look at whatever's my favorite weapon on the wall, and I just start putting my finger there, like a kid sitting in the back seat next to a sibling. Just-
like putting your finger an
Just
inch away,
right,
but
yeah,
not
like an
quite
inch
touching.
away. But yeah, I'm not touching you. I do that for a second, get no reaction, and walk away. I assume.
She seems so the human Urstel is just like fuming right now, and he's like watching you like a hawk. And as you start to like reach out to things, he's like, hey,
I'm not
hey,
touching it.
Mookie,
I'm not
Mookie,
touching it. I'm not touching it.
And the halfling kind of looks down and just rolls her eyes and keeps going up the stairs. And he's like, no, they're and he's like, are we really supposed to just let them walk through here? She says, the master said to leave them without any permanent damage, so you better listen to what the master says. And he's like, that's permanent damage. I mean, come on. She's like, no, just shut up, Urstel. I was like,
Scoot, remember when you hit Urstel with a dresser?
That was fun.
do you say that out loud, Lark, or just to Scoot and the rest of the gang?
Just to Scoot.
Oh, and my response was actually out loud. So now I look kind of
laughing like a crazy person.
I kind of look psychotic now.
So at that brazen display, he kind of like takes a step back and like reassesses his situation here.
I
with this
walk
crazy group.
I start walking towards the where the halfling was going. I'm done pretending to touch things, and then just before I get out of line of sight, I go, my friend Mr. E taught me this. I flip him the bird and I keep walking.
Yes.
I don't know if he's my friend or not.
Yeah, debatable. We're not sure.
Debatable.
He's more of your friend than Urstel is.
Yeah, suck it, Urstel.
Yeah.
So this halfling Mookie, she leads you up several flights of stairs, 7 stories in fact, to the top of the tower. And as you make your way up the tower, you see all kinds of strange, nefarious, and arcane rituals going on. On one of there's like traps and guards on every level. On one of the floors, the staircase up is invisible, and she taps a certain cobblestone on the wall to make it appear, and goes up the stairs. On one, there's this like long hallway you have to go down, with a big hulking flesh golem just like standing there at the end of the hallway, and it totally ignores you all. It's inert.
Flesh golem?
A flesh
golem.
Yeah, like
Blech.
a big old bodily thing with arms and legs,
Ugh.
standing on this big like symbol on the ground. She points at that and is like, that's a trap, don't step on it. And she kind of walks around the golem and leads you through. And you go up, there's like a big summoning circle on one floor where there's these 3 wizards kind of like running some sort of ritual on a demon that seems to be trapped in this circle. They kind of have it imprisoned.
Scoot is genuinely trying to learn things each floor. He's never would have guessed that was a trap.
Yeah, and throughout
Well-
these floors, there's all kinds of like burly thugs in black leather armor. It's clearly a Zentarim base. You see their symbol on many of the walls. And eventually
we
at the top floor. Oh, go ahead.
Do we think this is one of the 2 towers that Romalia
the-
told us about?
I was wondering the same thing, Zay. The Kolat Towers or whatever. That's a good guess.
We ask Mookie.
You
Are
ask
we
Mookie?
in the trades ward?
She looks at you and says, "You don't know?"
I mean, obviously
We
we're
came
in
by
the
summoning circle.
trades ward.
She just kind of gives you a look and is like, "Wait a minute. You're the same people I saw in the Xanathar's lair, aren't you?
Yeah,
You,
we
you
lived
made it out of
more or
there
less.
too? Holy shit." She says, "Wow, well, you must be real idiots to find your way down there and then find your way up here. I say, as a fellow idiot,
I was gonna say you were there too.
you know."
We came looking for that stuffy of the beholder.
Oh yeah.
Lark promised me one.
Yeah.
So.
So just hand it over, and we'll finish the tour, and we'll be out of your hair.
She laughs and says, "Not in your dreams."
Oh,
I would like to keep a special eye out for Squidly as we're moving through the space.
hmm
this place is filled with dicks.
Okay.
I mumble.
You don't see any. Actually, roll perception. So,
All of us?
I got a 1.
okay. Yeah, there's not any sign of children in this building. It seems like, first of all, it's a really, really dangerous place. Like there's all kinds of pretty crazy stuff going on in here. So
I think I forgot what he looks like.
He walks up, shakes your hand, leaves.
you remember what he looks
No
like?
sign
He's
of
a
him.
little tiefling kid, maybe like 10 or 11
No,
years old.
yeah. No, I know. I
With
just
an eye
rolled a
patch.
1 is
Yep.
all.
But the eye patch
Actually-
was on the other eye, and you have no idea who it is.
Yeah. At the top of the tower, eventually, there are some window slits at the very top of the tower, and looking out, you can see that you're kind of in a tower overlooking the southeastern part of the city, the trades ward.
Mhm.
And there's sort of like a rippling shield around you, so everything outside of this bubble is kind of distorted. There's some rain falling again, and it's kind of like bouncing off the shield and running down the sides, so it's hard to see outside. But you can still see the lights of the city through the rain and the shield.
Okay, so
Um,
we confirmed our
yep.
suspicions.
Yes. And so at the top of the tower, there's a big old portal. Like a standing arch portal, like dark portal, World of Warcraft style.
Yes.
And Mookie, from a little sort of shelf, like a little stone pedestal next to the portal, plucks 3 rings from it and gives them to each of you, except for Lark. The rings have a little M emblazoned on them, little letter M, and she instructs you to slide them onto your fingers and step through the portal. She's wearing one herself already.
Yep, do that.
Okay.
Yep.
You
Slide it
step
on.
through.
Walk through the portal.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, what are we doing? Yeah, Zay does it too.
We're not fighting our way out of here, so it's something I wish I had said back when we were in the Xanathar's lair.
Yeah, and again, reality twists around you. It's a much shorter trip this time, though. It's almost like you blink, and all of a sudden you're not in this tower anymore. You are in this sort of strange purple mist. It's like this infinite void all around you, except for this sort of like structure that you're standing on the edge of. It's this kind of like floating station in this endless purple mist. And you're standing on a circle that you just kind of stepped out onto. And there are kind of like glass barriers on the sides, as if people, and you get the sense of being watched from all directions, as if there's like beings beyond the glass staring at you. And there's a hallway extending forwards. And Mookie indicates to you, she's like, "Yeah, you'll get used to it. Just follow me this way." And she keeps going forward.
Follow Mookie.
I slide my ring off and put it in a pocket or something.
Okay.
The purple was a Xanathar thing previously in our previous experiences, right?
It was from that shop.
Lafoof.
Lafoomp's Curiosity Emporium, yep, was full of purple everything.
Okay, and we think he's connected to the Xanathar.
Correct.
Okay, so probably unrelated.
Probably.
Okay, I move. I continue to follow Mookie.
Okay, and she leads you down a hallway into this sort of foyer chamber. There's a large symbol in black marble on the floor here of a winged snake biting a coin, which is the symbol of the Zentarim you've seen before many times. She points at it and says, "Step around that, it's an alarm. Don't worry, it'll trigger if you're not wearing the ring," she says, and she looks at Scoot pointedly.
I stare for a second, then slide it on, and then walk, and then walk. And then I go to the other side. I slide it off again.
Do you roll sleight of hand, or are you just like...
First time I would have. This time, now I'm just annoyed. I was gonna say if they want to explain the ring to me, they can. Otherwise, I'm just assuming this was a teleportation thing, and now I'm starting to think there's probably more reason to it. But I still don't trust this freaking ring.
Sure. And so she takes you through this foyer into a third chamber to the left, which seems to be a kind of an audience chamber. There's sort of alabaster stone steps climbing up a few feet to a small raised platform overlooking this whole audience area. There are some golden banners hanging on the back wall displaying the symbol of the Zentarum, the winged snake. There are some chairs in the audience area. And Mookie says, the master will be with you shortly. And then she departs. She leaves you in there alone unless you want to say anything to her.
Do you want these rings back?
Thanks, Mookie.
She says you'll need them if you want to get out, so, hold on to them.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. And there's some various Zentarum agents in here too. There's a couple of guards that seem to be like engaging in a mock fisticuffs fight in the corner. There's a couple people just sort of lounging, a halfling and a dwarf, looks like. They're just kind of like lounging against the side of the wall, watching these other two have a fisticuffs match. And when they see you walk in, they just kind of raise their eyebrows. And Mookie kind of claps her hands and says, everyone out. The master's having an audience. And they begrudgingly stop what they're doing and leave.
How do they leave? Do they leave through the way we came in?
The way you came in, yep.
Okay.
And then from eventually after about a minute, once everyone's left except for you, unless you want to do something or say something, from the pet of the raised area, there's a door to the side of this raised area, sort of like a theater entrance. From that door, a hooded figure that you recognize as the necromancer steps out onto this raised stage and says in his soft voice, welcome, Ilka Gralhund and the Silver Waves of Justice. I'm pleased to see that you made it this far.
Thank you. It's unusual, but good to be here.
He says, I understand you may be uncomfortable with these surroundings, given your track record with my people. But don't worry, I will honor the memory of Mordecai Gralhund, and I offer this service freely to his dearest descendant.
Zay looks from Nancy to Ilka and kind of goes, oh. Big round eyes.
Do I know how he knew my grandfather?
Not explicitly. You know that he trained your grandfather in the arts of necromancy, to some degree, but you don't know like exactly what their relationship was.
Oh, this guy's old. Okay, I was figuring it was the other way around.
Mm-hmm. And at that, the necromancer actually takes off his hood, and you see before you like a very, very handsome young man with sort of like shoulder-length black hair and a very serious look in his eyes, kind of like a faraway, but like very focused look at the same time. Dark eyes, and as he pulls his hood back, you can see that one of his hands is entirely mechanical. It looks like it's not like a real hand. It's like a Darth Vader hand, but kind of like made of gold and silver.
Wow.
He says, "If you'll follow me, let's get to work."
I am absolutely fascinated. I'm following him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am too, especially with the hand. I just
And say,
Yeah, follow.
okay.
Lark.
And, Lark.
I'm following also.
Do you speak to him at all, Lark? Or
no, I don't yet. I'm just sitting on Ilka's head.
Okay. He takes you down a hallway, through the foyer one more time, and then in the opposite direction across the foyer into what looks like a sort of laboratory. In this room, the temperature is extremely cold. There are vents in the floor that seem to be blowing this cold mist into the room. And there are several sarcophagi on the walls. The back wall seems to be made of this thick, curved glass that kind of like overlooks this purple mist to the void beyond. But the frost from the vents below is kind of covering the glass, blotting out some of that mist. In the center of the room is an open sarcophagus with what looks like a copy of this man that stands in front of you. It's the same body, but kind of curled up in the sarcophagus, and with an articulated metal left hand and forearm. Uh,
Oh.
However, this copy, the face is covered with a mask, a steel mask with a smiling visage. So that's kind of weird, but he doesn't even acknowledge it. He just leads you on to one of the other sarcophagi and opens it and says, "Do you have the reagents?" He says,
I,
"I've spent
I
years perfecting an accelerated cloning process, the same that I taught your grandfather Ilka."
Zay kind of looks over at the silver masked copy and says, "So is this before or after clone?
What do you mean?
Like, is this what Lark's gonna look like?"
No, no. He says, "This is my simulacrum. I use it to command my people throughout the city.
Oh,
I prefer to remain in my sanctum. But with the remains of the deceased, his soul and a diamond, I can perform the ritual that will grow him a new person.
will it
whoa.
still look like him?
Yes, as long as there's enough of his body remaining.
Will he still have a pencil mustache?
If it
He
was
did not have a pencil mustache when he disintegrated.
if it's important enough to his soul, then he will.
Oh.
Oh, now we're gonna learn some stuff.
I think he's gonna be so fancy. His new. I
This
think it's
is,
gonna come back exactly how he envisioned it instead of what it
we're
actually
gonna
looks
get
like.
Rowan Crooks in our group.
All right, my final question. If he had a blood curse before he died, will he come back still having that blood curse?
Uh, the figure says, "Well, that depends on the nature of the curse. If it was viral or something superficial, like I said, not connected to his soul, then I would imagine he would be free. If it was due to some divine influence, if his soul was under the corruption of a deity,
No,
such
he got
as
bit by a ferret.
oh, he got bit by and Nancy says, then I would imagine he's all right. I imagine he'd be clear, especially if you were able to free him from the yoke of whoever had him prisoner in the Feywild on your trip. I would assume you'd be just fine.
Hey, how did you know that?
I sent you there. It was
Oh.
on the vernal equinox. You're lucky. You see, that day is the day where the material plane is closest to the Feywild.
Oh, I thought Lyrian brought me there.
Transportation.
That's why I was confused.
Oh, right. Lyrian brought you there. The unicorn brought you there. He says, but Ilka and Scoot. He nods
Oh,
to Scoot and says, you two needed some help.
yeah, we don't have unicorn friends.
No.
Well, she's our friend. She's all our friend. All right, let's bring back Lark.
Okay,
All right.
I gingerly take Lark off my head and I hold him out and I confirm with him that he wants to do this.
Good call.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
I open up the bag of holding and I take out the black pouch that has the diamond in it. And I take the diamond out of the pouch. I hand that over first. And then I reach in again and I get the dolphin shaped box that has Lark's ashes.
Okay.
Tap on that once and I hand that over.
And while you're doing that, Nancy is taking this sarcophagus from the wall and he pushes a button on the wall and the sarcophagus kind of slides downwards into a horizontal position. And he takes the remains. You give them to him.
Yep.
And
Ooh.
he pours them out into the sarcophagus and closes the lid and then holds his hand over the sarcophagus with the diamond in it and begins to cast a spell. And he's chanting something under his breath, very arcane. And he
Zay reaches out and offers guidance.
do you touch him?
I do, yeah. I'm just like holding onto his elbow, like staring into the sarcophagus.
Okay, he flinches like really hard when you touch him.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he's super uncomfortable with it, but he
Okay,
lets
I'm
you.
gonna stand next. Okay.
I'm gonna unsling my concertina and just instead of me playing and choosing a song, I'm just gonna open myself to channeling my grandfather and any bardic inspiration he can assist through the music.
Okay. And a song starts to come from your fingertips. And as you're playing it, it's odd. The necromancer starts to hum the same melody as if he knows it. And so this sort of music fills the room as the spell is happening. And then the necromancer crushes the diamond in his hand, similar to what you saw in a vision from the Stone of Dolor, Ilka, a long time ago, over the sarcophagus. And the dust kind of falls onto it as he sprinkles it out with his one good hand, while his mechanical hand is sort of channeling these arcane patterns in the air. And the temperature of the room briefly swells. It gets like warm despite all the cold air, and it seems like the cold is almost there to like keep the room from overheating. But you start to sweat, all of you, and over the course of about 5 minutes, as the necromancer continues to channel this spell, it starts to die down and get colder and colder and colder and colder until it's almost freezing in the room. And then there's kind of a hiss from within the sarcophagus. And the necromancer drops his arms. He looks tired, and he says, "It's complete. It's done." And he says, "I could use some help," as he starts to pull back the sarcophagus.
I go
He's
over
trying
there
to
and
pull back the
Trying to
sarcophagus.
pull open the sarcophagus.
I go and I try to assist whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Yep, I put my concertina back over my shoulder and go back to help.
Okay. And together you pry it open, and inside is the figure of Lark Wavesilver, wearing his hat.
Lark!
Lark, you look the most Lark you ever have in your life. So you tell me what that means. Your pencil stash, yeah, it's still there. It still looks like shit. Not that you would know.
No, right.
But yeah, and it's very, very cold, Lark. You're clothed in your Swoj t-shirt and everything else. It's part and parcel.
And I'm conscious?
Yes. Yep.
Woohoo! Jump up and I start hopping around and I hug everybody and I do a backflip, but again I don't know how to do a backflip.
Okay, roll acrobatics. You have -4 to all your stats.
Do you now? Maybe it was in your soul.
Rolling acrobatics. Oh my gosh, I rolled a 19. Hold on, let me look at my modifier. +6. That's a 25. Oh wait, no.
-4.
No, -4 to my actual ability score. So a 14 is a plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That still is
24.
a really good roll.
Yeah, so it's easy to do a backflip. Yeah, and you were all amazed by how spry Lark is right off the bat. It's like Grandpa Joe and Willy Wonka.
That's like a top end Scoot acrobatics roll right there. That's like as good as it gets.
Yeah. Do you hug the necromancer too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, he is like so uncomfortable with it. Like he kind of like pushes you away. He's like, "That's all right. Thank you."
No.
How are we gonna get Lark out of here? He doesn't have an M ring.
Oh, there are extras, he says.
What does
They're
the
not
M
rare.
stand for?
That would be
Mike.
telling.
I bet it's
says.
Mordecai.
They keep calling him Master.
I bet it's a W.
Oh, got it upside down. It's
Good call, Scoot.
Or an E.
or a 3.
Or a 3. I bet it's one of those.
We got
The
options.
necromancer is regretting. He's regretting that he ever got involved.
Full
like-
on facepalm, yeah.
They're never gonna figure out the M stands for Matthias. It's magic. It stands for magic, guys. It's a magic ring.
All of a sudden,
my
there's a large clamor from the entryway. You hear shouting and like whoops of alarm from down the hall where you came from. And the necromancer looks up with a jolt and starts to leave, like without any pretense.
Zay grabs Lark's hand and holds on to it as long as is possible, as like follows him wherever he's gonna go.
You're all left there alone with this clone of a necromancer.
Is the clone
I'm-
awake?
No, it's not. It's frozen, or at least chilled.
I kind of go inspect it, but I definitely don't touch it.
I
Scoot, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I ready my shield and my axe, and I start kind of edging over towards the door because if he's uncomfortable with the situation, means we should be super uncomfortable. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get dust and a diamond all over again.
Multiple diamonds.
If he doesn't
Okay.
like what's going on, yeah.
And where did he go? Like he went through a door?
Yeah, he went down the hall back towards the entrance again.
Oh.
Where the courtiers were before?
Where the big symbol was on the ground. There
Yeah,
have been
okay.
various guards kind of throughout, except for in this laboratory. So, and as you get, so you're going back down that way, you said?
Yeah, wherever the necromancer went.
Okay, then you hear sort of like hushed conversation, and the necromancer is giving orders to these henchmen of his, including Mookie. It sounds like the tower is under attack. They're saying the city watch has found a way through the shield,
Mm.
and they're raiding the tower from below. What do? They found us.
That's all they
Um,
say.
Wait, are they
Well,
asking us?
that's
What do we do?
the gist of it that they're saying to
Okay.
each other that you're kind of
yeah.
hearing from afar as you creep
So
back in.
I turn to Swoj and very quietly say, now might be our chance to try to find the eye. The second eye.
That's a
Uh,
good idea.
I disagree, and so
Oh.
I'm not actively looking. I'm not going to stop anybody from looking, but in this time and place, yeah, I feel like I'm very lucky to have gotten back what I've gotten back, and so I don't really love the idea of pushing it.
Yeah, I feel like we are really riding that that two sides of the coin here that we can't really be seen by the city watch in cahoots with the necromancer.
I don't think anyone will notice us if the city watch is attacking and they're fighting the city watch. It seems like a good opportunity to find the like how else are we ever going to get in this tower again to find the second eye that we think the Zentrum have?
Did
But he
Romalia say where she thought it was in here? Or
She
just that it's in this tower?
she's she basically said that it was picked up by the Zentrum, they think, and that they think they have it in its trades ward. And the only other intel we have is Squidly has been hanging around the Zentrum, I think.
And
Is the
something
only
was going on in this tower. Right. Okay.
right.
Well, I am just standing in, kind of listening to the necromancer and the henchman and Mookie talk for a while. I'm just standing guard, ready to kind of be told what to do. I'm not engaging in anything back in the room back there, but I look like I'm ready to join in and help defend the tower, even though I'm not really going to do that.
Okay, and for what it's surprising. They all seem like they're just ignoring you at this point. Like they don't really care what you do, which is surprising because you're in this like strange inner sanctum of this tower. But they just seem totally, they're all parting ways and delivering messages right away. Like nobody's hanging around for long, so all the henchmen kind of leave, and the
Do we
necromancer.
see
Go ahead.
oh just a ring for Lark?
There were some by the portal, like
Okay.
as you came out of it. So yeah, there are more over there too.
Okay. Lark, grab a ring.
I grab one.
Okay, and what's your MO? Where do you go?
I would ask the necromancer what he wants us to do. How are we getting out?
He says, "Your safety is not my concern. If you're leaving, do so safely."
Can
Any
I
advice on that? I mean, point me in a direction?
back to the portal.
He says, "Through the portal, down the stairs. The second level of the tower has a bridge adjoining it to the adjacent tower. You could leave through that doorway and then jump down. But it sounds like the city watch have the place surrounded. So, and at that, he leaves and it goes down towards where his simulacrum was located and starts to perform some kind of ritual over the simulacrum. Like he barely stops to talk to you. He seems very business oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, this is such like ethical quandary. He just brought back our friend. Do we help him? Do we abandon him?
He doesn't want our help. He doesn't care about us at this point. Our safety is not his concern. If he wanted help, he would have asked for it. I say we
Fair.
just
All right.
get out of Dodge.
Back to the portal.
Okay. I think we're missing out on an opportunity. Zay keeps her eyes peeled for potential
Well,
eyes.
And and the thing we're in right now is not actually the tower, right? The portal is what
Right.
takes us back to the tower.
Right.
Right.
So
So we take the
we
portal.
all want to head that way anyway.
Oh, sure, sure, yes.
Yep.
While still keeping my eye out, as I don't know where they're keeping it.
So after a few seconds, as you're deliberating in this foyer, you see the necromancer brush by you again, but this time he's wearing this iron mask, which indicates to you that it's the simulacrum, not actually him. And he calls out, "Zentarim, to me!"
Twin Portals is produced and edited by Scott Hebert. The adventure is created by our Dungeon Master Matthias Valero, and the rest of the Silver Waves of Justice are played by Kendra Carlson, Beth Brophy, and Justin Peck. If you're hungry right now or think you might be hungry in the future, let Mr. E feed you by going to gumboboy.com. That's GUMBOBOI.com. Robert Lee has been cooking up some of his favorite Cajun recipes, and you can go online to find out what he's having and when it's available. You can also search for Gumbo Boy on the Facegrams and Instabooks. Scott Hebert is a fiscal year 2021 recipient of a Creative Support for Individuals grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board. This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Previous support was made possible by the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, and my sincerest thanks to those two boards for their support. Thank you to Leeland Campana for use of his song Avernum as our theme song. Thank you to the Renegade Theater Company, Teatro Ciccone, and Mary Fox for their support. We hope to see you in person there again real soon. And thank you all so much for listening to Twin Portals.
How badly do we need Lark back? I mean, this hat thing seems to be working out.